Good evening, everyone. I'm Eric Allgood, and welcome to another edition of Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. We are full swing into the rest of basketball season with state wrestling, and what an event that was that the NSAA puts on in Omaha this past weekend. All of the champions, 12 of them from Strive schools. David City brought home a team championship from state, and of course now state duels out in Kearney coming up this weekend. But a fantastic atmosphere, and congratulations to all those wrestlers and teams who participated in Omaha over the weekend. Now we're into sub-district and for some district basketball, so we've got a big basketball show for us coming up tonight. Tony Chapman is in Grand Island as he usually is, and Tony, this is a lot of fun when we get to this point of the season. How do things go down? Who gets upset where? You got to travel a long ways. You got to travel a short ways. It's the postseason. It's madness just before March.
Yeah, I was going to say the madness is upon us, right, Eric? So we've got a great show tonight. Marc Kruger from Millard West, their girls basketball coach, is on the line with us. He will join us in a little bit. The Lady Cats will host Kearney in a district final tomorrow night at Millard West. We'll have Clark Ribble on the line with us. They get none other than top-ranked Bruning Davenport Shickley in a sub-district final rematch from last year and a state semifinal rematch from or a state third-place game rematch from last year. So that should be a good one. Be fun to talk to him. And then you had some fun with the Aurora girls basketball captains. They will play Lexington tomorrow in the Class B5 sub-district finals over at Grand Island Senior High. I will be in attendance for that one. So looking forward to seeing Aurora play tomorrow, and this should be a fun show.
It should be. And before we get to Coach Kruger, we're going to do our a T-shirt giveaway again. We've got the Snapchat giveaway. All you have to do is Snapchat yourself watching Prep Huddle Live, and you send that Snapchat to Strive TV on the Snap code. If you don't already follow us on Snapchat, you send it to Strive TV, and we'll put you into the drawing for a T-shirt giveaway at the end of the show here tonight. And, we didn't promo this at all. I just said, hey, we did this last week. Why don't we do it again? So, we owe Dottie a T-shirt. And we owe Dottie a T-shirt because he drew the wrestling headgear all over me, right? So extra bonus points if you can draw, a separate basketball, or if you make me look like the have you seen the picture online of the kid that jumped for a rebound and was obviously well away from it, but looks like he's just floating in midair about 3 feet away from it. That's hilarious, by the way. Okay, enough with the silliness now. Let's bring in Coach Marc Kruger, the head coach of the Millard West girls. The Wildcats are 20-5 on the season. Like Tony said, that matchup with Kearney tomorrow in a district final matchup. Coach, it's obviously been a great season. Anytime you hit that 20-win mark, you've done a lot of good things. Take us through a little bit what you think the team has done maybe best so far this year.
Well, I think for us it starts defensively. We've been able to hold teams on average under 40 points a game, and that's really been huge for us. We've kind of been multifaceted defensively. We've been able to play some zone and play some man and mix stuff, and also able to get up and press people in the full court when we feel the matchups work out for us. So it's been very good to be able to do whatever you need to do, and that's a credit to our kids and the kind of athletes and players that they are.
Coach, introduce us to your team a little bit, if you could. I know you were excited last year about your point guard, Lauren Rongish, who was a freshman to sophomore now this year. And I know inside, Philomena Lammers is going to go play basketball at Concordia, I believe. Tell us about them and maybe some of the other girls who are contributing for you this year.
Yeah, those two are our leading scorers. Again, sophomore point guard Lauren Rongish just does a really good job. She's just a sophomore, but she's really our floor general, and we ask her to do a lot. We ask her to score for us and be able to hit jump shots and not only that, but handle the ball and against pressure and get us into what we want to run. And so a lot of what we do falls on her shoulders. And again, Philomena Lammers inside, she's a 5'10" post player and just as strong as an ox. She's just she's a handful to deal with on the block. She's our leading rebounder. Again, I think her and Lauren are basically neck and neck in kind of scoring, and so we really have a good inside-out punch with those two. We also start at a guard position, Jalen Bosak. who's a Division I Creighton soccer recruit. So she's a fantastic athlete. And if you know anything about us and the other teams we're playing, if you want to know who the other team's best player is, just find out who Jalen Bosak is guarding, and that's the other team's best player. And she's able to do a good job with that, and she can get out and score in transition and just be an athletic force for us. She does a good job on the offensive glass. And then at the other guard, we started Logan Black, who's also, potentially a Division I athlete as a softball player. And she's kind of a matchup problem for a lot of teams because she's taller for a guard. She's about 5'10", and she can step out and shoot the three-pointer really well. And if we get mismatches we like, she can also go down and post kids up. So she's a valuable player to a lot of the things that we do. And then our other starter is another post player and another sophomore, Courtney Merriweather. Again, another big body inside to give us kind of another post presence, and we'd like to be able to take advantage of that. And Courtney can step out and really shoot it all the way out to the three-point line, and we can really stretch defenses out that way. So we have really good balance. We don't have one kid whose stats are going to jump off the page, but again, a good balance of inside and outside.
Coach, you started 11-0. You won the Metro Holiday Tournament, I believe, for the first time in school history. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But and now since then it's been 9-5, but those 5 losses by 15 total points. What does your crew learn kind of from those, and how you're trying to use that to coach them up here in the postseason?
Yeah, we when we started off 11-0, things were rolling really well, and then our first loss was at Bellevue West, which is absolutely no shame losing to them. They're a tremendous team, and it was on their home floor. But I think we learned, we came out kind of flat, and we just didn't play with the kind of energy and emotion we needed to. And then we came storming back in the third quarter and took the lead back from them, and then we just kind of were out of gas and lost that one. And then our other loss, another loss we had at Papio South, again to another good team on their home floor. We just had one of those nights where the ball just wouldn't go in the basket, and then we got frustrated, and that led to some other mistakes, and things kind of went downhill from there. But I think we've learned that in all our losses, really, that I think you can go back to a couple of things that we just really didn't come out with the kind of energy and things that we needed. And so we've really focused on trying to get off to a good start and be kind of mentally tuned in from the very beginning.
Tell us about the Bearcats. You saw them the second game of the year. It was a 62-41 win for you guys. But obviously the key for them, Skylar Schneider, she's going to play basketball at Seton Hall. What are the keys kind of for tomorrow for you guys to advance to Lincoln?
Yeah, she's really a handful. She can score in so many different ways. And first of all, you watch them play. Again, we played in the second game of the season, and I've seen them play on film, just scouting other teams throughout the seasons, and traded tapes with or film with Coach Boyd a couple of times. So I've seen them on film several times through the year. And the thing that jumps off the page at you is not just Skylar and her ability, which is off the charts, but they're so well coached. Coach Boyd has an answer for everything. If you're going to guard him this way, okay, we'll do that. And he's just got an answer, and they're so well prepared and coached. That jumps out at you right away. So we know they're going to come in tomorrow and have a plan on how they want to score and also how they want to try to stop us. But yeah, Skylar, she's a handful. You're not going to stop her. So you have to try to make everything she does to make it difficult and not let her have any easy ones. We're going to do our best to try to keep her off the foul line and not give her any N1s. And then the other thing is you can't let other kids on their team go off and get 12 or 15 points. Skylar might get her 25 to 30, and you can still win. But when other kids are chipping in with 12, that's when things are going to be really rough for you. So we really have our hands full.
Coach, how nice is it to be in the postseason but still get to play on your home floor for this one?
Yeah, it's a big event for us. I would much rather. I would hate to be traveling out to Kearney to be playing the last game in their gym. And I've been out there plenty of times, and their crowd is tremendous, no matter if you're playing in, December or February, let alone the last game in that gym there. So yeah, I'm really glad we're not looking at doing that. So yeah, we're definitely glad we're staying at home and not having to get on a bus tomorrow afternoon.
Well, that is Millard West girls coach Marc Kruger, who's got his Wildcats into the district championship game. Coach, thanks a lot for the time here tonight, and best of luck to you and the Lady Cats the rest of the way.
All right, thank you very much for having me.
All right, folks, we got a real quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are joined in studio by Heartland Boys coach Clark Ribble. That is next on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to Dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work.
I love it. It's fun. It's a fun industry to be in. Meet lots of different people, do lots of different stuff. There's always something new happening,
So far, I've been enjoying it since I've been here. It's been great, learning new stuff every day. I recommend anyone coming and work here because so far the working environment's friendly, everyone's kind, and also the new guys that come here, they'll gain the confidence that they need just to come and work.
I like how everybody around here is, we all kind of become real good friends. It's like a second family here. It's not something you would come to just work for a month or two. It's something you'll want to stick with forever.
I never really imagined that I would be a diesel technician. I started out in a whole different other field and then kind of worked my way and stumbled my way into it, and I enjoy every day of it.
The people that I work with are great. Even if you're having a bad day, they find some way to try to make you laugh or smile to try to brighten your day up. It'd be a life-changing opportunity. So there's a lot of good things that this company has to offer.
Welcome back to Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com. We're joined now by Clark Ribble. He's the head coach of the Heartland Boys, and coach, the sub-district finals matchup with BDS looms tomorrow. That game, of course, is in Geneva. It's been if nothing else, it's been an entertaining year for the Huskies. You got a pretty youthful squad, some really cool and great performances, and some tough losses to some good opponents at the same time. So, kind of talk about the season, what you've seen from the bench.
Yeah. We start one senior, we start one junior, and we play one junior off the bench. And our next 6 guys are all sophomores. And so they're all trying to learn where they fit and how they fit in. One of them played some varsity last year, but we were senior heavy last year. And so it's been kind of a learning process of how to play at the varsity level for the majority of our kids. So from the beginning, I knew it was going to be a process. It was going to be a learning process for all of our kids to try and figure out how to play and how fast the game was and what shots we should take and what shots we shouldn't take. So I think some of those early losses to Wilbur Claytonia, who's really tough and really big and physical, and Fillmore Central, who's really athletic and long, and even High Plains kind of taught us some valuable lessons along the way. And all I told our kids is that I want to be playing our best basketball now. And, I think we're getting there. I think we're there.
You mentioned the one senior, that's Clay Bergen. Let's talk about Clay and the rest of these guys because it's a young team that for the next 2 years we're going to have to keep an eye on these Huskies.
Yeah, you bet. It really starts with Clay. Clay does a great job leading us. He's one of our co-captains on the team. 6'4" post who averages about 14 points a game and 9.5 boards. Second leading scorer on the team. But he really just drives everything we do at practice. He's a leader on the court. He brings our guys together when things get kind of hairy. So he does a good job. Austin Stewart's our other captain. Doesn't score a whole bunch, but doesn't need to. He guards the other team's best guard, and he takes great pride in his defense, and he's our junior that starts. Our other junior that plays a bunch is Ben Drever. He's a tremendous pole vaulter, great athlete, runs the floor well, plays good defense. Then we got some sophomores who play a whole bunch. Kyle Ott starts at the 3 for us. He's a great defender. Didn't play at all last year, had to deal with some injuries and stuff like that. So he's kind of trying to figure out where he fits in our whole system of basketball. Lane Hubert, a 6-foot guard, leads our team in scoring, leads our team in assists. Kind of a real passionate player. Will put the ball in the hole when he steps in the gym. He's a pretty darn good shooter. But he's learned how to drive it and pull up and things like that too. We've got another little great sophomore, Jaden Regier, comes off the bench for us. Another guy that can shoot it. We like to have Jaden on the floor late in games because he'll knock down free throws. Connor Bears, another kid that starts for us. And the interesting thing about a lot of our kids, Aaron Bowler comes off the bench for us, is that we have a bunch of kids that play that weren't even on varsity last year. And so it's neat to see those kids figure out how to play at this level, So those are some of the kids that we play. Hayes Oswald plays some for us. But it's really a by committee basis, We're trying to put the best kids on the floor and trying to figure it out together.
You mentioned Lane. He had one of those games you won't quite forget for a long time earlier this year. I think it was at Tri-County. He hits 10 threes, has 34 points in a game. Had another big scoring night when they were on the road to High Plains. But especially that game, it's up on social media pretty quick after the game. Hey, this is school record stuff. This is stuff that doesn't happen very often. That had to be fun, not just for Lane, but it had to be fun for the rest of the guys too.
Well, I think it was more fun for the rest of the guys. I know Lane likes to make shots, but our other guys did a great job screening for him, getting each other open, making the right pass at the right time. And then when you're open, it's easy to make shots when you've shot it a million times. But, it was nice to go down there 80 miles away and get a victory and come back, head into a conference tournament with a win. And that's what it's mostly about. I think Lane would agree that he would much rather score 10 and win than score 30 and lose. And that's what I want our guys to feel, is that our team's more important than any individual accomplishment that we could ever achieve.
When you got a young team like you do, how important is it for those guys in the process? You said the process of having them learn how to play. Mm-hmm. You played in the Wesleyan Holiday Tournament, played against some for St. Francis in there, so you got to see one of the top teams in D2. You play in some good atmospheres against some big schools. How important are those games, not just this year, but in the years to come, for those guys to try to develop?
Well, we always, in the summer, try and find the best teams we can play, no matter what. We went up and we played Adams Central this summer. We played GICC in the past. We played O'Neill, who's really good in C1 this year. We just try and play the best teams so that when we get in situations like a game against Humphrey St. Francis or High Plains or Cross County, who's really good in C2 during the season, it's not a big shock to us. So we and if we struggle to play against the post, we try and find the best post guy in the state and go play him in the summertime. And And so we look forward to the competition. We embrace playing great teams, and that's one thing that we strive to do is play our best basketball against the best teams.
Talk about you've got Taylor and I were talking this afternoon a little bit. You got a really cool family tie into the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame. Larry Ribble, coach from 1965 to 2004, gets inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2008. And I understand he's been a big influence on your coaching career.
Yeah, Larry and I share a lot of big laughs. He's one of the great characters in our sport. Has taught me a lot of things about the game. But he always knows not to push too much, and that's what I love about my Uncle Larry, is that he might give me a little tidbit, but he lets me learn for myself. There was one year where we got beat by Milford in the conference championship game 2 years ago, and we couldn't figure out their 1-3-1. And after the game, he wouldn't say anything to me, and he just said, we just got to do better. And I said, yeah, you're right. And so then 2 weeks later, I said, what can we do against a 1-3-1? He said, well, try this. And so he just gave me just one little thing. But we worked together in the summertime at Mike Trader's camps, and we have a lot of fun at those camps. And he really helps me figure out how to coach a lot better.
What are some of the things, maybe more specifically? You mentioned how to beat a 1-3-1, but what else do you ever just call him up and pick his brain on just a few things?
Yeah, I ask him to tell me some jokes because sometimes during the season it can be a grind. And so sometimes I'll need him to send me a quick text for a joke because he's a great basketball coach. But if it didn't ever work out in teaching and coaching, he should have been a comedian because he's got some real good one-liners. Probably not appropriate for Strive, but we'll save him for later.
Well, we'll save him for later. Let's talk about BDS. That's the opponent tomorrow night. Taylor and I, we've seen them a few different times throughout the year. We called a great game with them in High Plains in the CRC title game. They've got that type of experience that you hope to see from your guys here in the next couple years. But what do you see from BDS this year?
They're tough. I mean, they are strong and physical, and they're deep. They got one of the best point guards probably in our class, I'd say, in Riley Tegmeyer. He seems like he's been there for 7 or 8 years, but I think finally he's a senior, so this might be the last go around.
Well, Riley is. I don't know if there's any more down there, but Riley's a senior anyway.
But yeah, they're really good. They're really good. We played them last year twice. They're just one of those teams that has a culture of winning, and that's kind of what they hang their hat on at their school, I think, is athletic success, and it's been really successful for them. They've done a lot of great things in football and basketball, but these are the kind of games that we look forward to. We embrace this opportunity to play them tomorrow night, and we're going to give it our best shot.
We'll see what happens. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah. That is Clark Ribble. He is the head coach of the Heartland Boys, and thanks for coming in tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're going to take a real quick break here on Prep Huddle Live, but before we do that, we want to remind you that right now at Dickey's Barbecue in York, you can get the Duke deal. There it is. $4.99 gets you a big barbecue pulled pork sandwich, a non-fried side, and the little yellow drink cup for just $4.99. Also, don't forget they have the $1 pulled pork sliders going on, available through the end of February, so make sure you get those in. Don't forget, coming up, we've got the Aurora girls captains, Jasa Scheierman and Adyson Narber and Keri Oswald, coming up on Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to Dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
I love it. It's fun. It's a fun industry to be in. Meet lots of different people, do lots of different stuff. There's always something new happening, so.
So far, I've been enjoying it since I've been here. It's been great, learning new stuff every day. I recommend anyone come in and work here because so far the working environment's friendly, everyone's kind, and also the new guys that come here, they will gain the confidence that they need just to come and work.
I like how everybody around here is, we all kind of become real good friends. It's like a second family here. It's not something you would come to just work for a month or two. It's something you'll want to stick with forever.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
I never really imagined that I would be a diesel technician. I started out in a whole different other field and then kind of worked my way and stumbled my way into it, and I enjoy every day of it.
The people that I work with are great. Even if you're having a bad day, they find some way to try to make you laugh or smile, to try to brighten your day up. It'd be a life-changing opportunity. So there's a lot of good things that this company has to offer.
Welcome back to Prep Huddle Live here on StriveSports.com. Earlier today, I had a chance to catch up with the Aurora girls and their junior captains after they had practice. They're getting ready to continue their postseason run. So let's go to the tape, if you will. Joining us now on the Truck Center Company's hotline, we've got the Aurora girls captains, Jasa Scheierman, Adyson Narber, and Keri Oswald, the Huskies this year, 17-6 on their season so far. Got a trip to Grand Island Senior High to take on Lexington Thursday in the district semifinal. Girls, first of all, thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll kind of get one for each of you, and then we'll go all for one and one for all to wrap things up. So we want to ask Jasa first. You guys, like we said, 17-6 is your record, but I want to go back to January for just a second. And at Northwest High School, you guys beat York for the Central Conference Tournament title. First time that Aurora had pulled off that feat since 1982. And since I was born then, I know that was a long time ago. So what was it like after that game to kind of realize something that hasn't happened in your school for a very long time?
It was really exciting, and it was like an honor to have been happened in our year. We all worked really hard to achieve it, and it was awesome, especially after the game. The bus ride home, we were jamming out, and it was pretty fun. It was awesome.
All right, Keri, we had a feature interview earlier this year. In fact, it was after that conference championship game with your coach, Sarah Partington, and she told us that maybe one of the key ingredients for you guys this year has been focus. So how does Coach try to get you guys to focus, and what does she specifically ask you to focus on?
Well, before every game, we have a pregame, and we focus on each person in the game we're looking forward to playing, and yeah.
All right, Adyson, you're up next. You guys play Lexington at Grand Island Senior High tomorrow and win that one, and then you're on to district championship. What would it mean for you guys as a program with so much youth, without any seniors on the roster? What would it mean for you guys to be able to have that chance to play your way into Lincoln?
It would be really great. It would definitely start something like we've already started a lot for the basketball program this season, but I think it would even carry on to next season and change the program around, and I think it would be great being able to play.
All right, I got hopefully a fun question for all of you, and I want you to take turns answering this because we know that athletes can be either superstitious or they can just be creatures of habit. So for each of you, what is something that you have to do before a game to get yourself ready? Some people it's take a nap. Some people it's I got to jam out to a certain music. So what do each of you do individually to get yourselves ready before the team kind of comes together to get ready together?
I'll go first. Every time before we come together as a team, I always put my shoes on last, and when I do that, I listen to the same song. It just helps me remember who I'm playing for, and it gets me focused on the game. I don't really view it as a superstitious thing, just, I don't know, something I feel like I need to do for myself as an athlete. So, yeah.
Cool.
I actually don't do anything. I literally don't do anything. I just put my shoes on and get focused and ready to go.
Yeah, I don't really do anything either. I always braid my hair before a game, but that's just, I don't know, a routine.
Oh, see, sometimes that's a habit. Sometimes it's as simple as braiding the hair. Sometimes it's as simple as I always put my right shoe on first, or I double knot both shoes to make sure I'm ready to go. So it's just fun to hear some of those things. A big thank you to Jasa Scheierman, Adyson Narber, and Keri Oswald, the captains for the Aurora girls. They're off into the district semifinals coming up tomorrow night as they take on Lexington at Grand Island Senior High. Girls, thanks so much for the time, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, the girls were a lot of fun, and thanks to them, they did that. We were trying to set this interview up throughout the day today, and we got to the point where it was like, well, when can we do it? Because they were a little tied up during the show, and I said, I understand that. Any chance we could get maybe right after practice? So that was, we recorded that right after practice, and we started in the locker room, and trust me, you didn't want to hear the echo of their locker room. So thanks to whoever let them into the room that they ended up in and opened that up for them. Well, Tony, we're towards the end of our show here. It is a little bit after 8 o'clock, but we wanted to kind of highlight some of our Strive schools who are in district games, at least for the girls. And, of course, by the time we have this show again next week at Dickey's Barbecue in York, by the way, don't forget about that. That we will have the boys all ready to go for state as well. They will start the week after. But as far as the girls' games that are coming up, we can take a look at Class A and B kind of together here because their districts are wrapping up either tomorrow or on Friday. But Tony, we've got a good one. We already talked about Millard West. They're hosting Kearney tomorrow night. In Class B, we got a couple of semifinals though that we could mention here as well.
Yeah, York will play Crete in their semifinal. I think that's the B4 district. And then in the B5 district, that'll be at Grand Island Senior High tomorrow night. Grand Island Northwest and Hastings will play in the first game. That'll be at 6 o'clock. Had a chance to watch Grand Island Northwest beat Holdridge last night. They got a kind of a good quick start and played pretty well in that one. So they played a close game with Hastings earlier this year. So it'll be interesting to see how that one will go. And then the nightcap will be Aurora and Lexington. And, of course, Aurora beat Lexington, I think, by about 15 points earlier this year. But Lexington's got an all-stater, and Hannah Ostrom is really good. She's about a 22-point scorer. And so that should be another good one. It'll be interesting to see how that district plays out. And then out west in Ogallala, McCook will play Alliance in a semifinal in the B6.
Down to our C1, C2, D1, D2 schools, and we're talking about district championship games coming up for them on Friday. Some good ones in C1. Bishop Neumann is taking on West Point Beamer, and that is at North Bend Central. And then Central City is taking on Kearney Catholic, and that is at Hastings College. In our Strive schools there, West Point Beamer and Central City in Class C1. Then, Tony, we've also got three of them in C2, 3 games, I should say. One of them is a double Strive, so we know either Freeman or Utan, who play in Waverly, will be going off to state. There's also Twin River taking on Stanton. They're playing at Central Community College in Columbus. And Hemingford is taking on Ravenna at Sutherland High School. So how do you see those C1 and C2 matchups looking?
Well, really tough matchup for Central City against Kearney Catholic. They had it last year as well at Hastings College as well. So a repeat for Coach Ningus and the Bison. They've won in a sub-district 2 years in a row and had really nice teams. But then you run into this buzzsaw that is Kearney Catholic, second in the points, I believe, and second in the rankings. And so that's a game where Kearney Catholic probably would be a heavy favorite in that one. Freeman and UTAN should be a really good one. Went Freeman's way early in the year in the second weekend of the year, and really a clash in styles. UTAN talked to Coach Rod Hinkle yesterday and featured them in the rewind. They want to press you, get up and down the floor, and Freeman wants to use that state volleyball championship height, kind of sit back in the zone, make you miss shots, and then rebound it. So it'll be interesting to see who can get the game in their favor in that one. And, boy, I'm really going to root for Hemingford. I'd like to see them come down to Lincoln and play. I believe they're 21-3 out west. It'd be nice to come watch them in Lincoln.
And then also, Tony, we go down to the D1 and D2 brackets. In Class D1, you've got the number 1 seed there in Friend taking on Diller Odell. That game will be in Crete on Friday night. Then in Norfolk at Northeast Community College, that's where you will see Fullerton taking on Omaha Nation. And then in D1, a big trip for DCS as they take on South Loop High School at Wallace. In the D1 ranks, look at a map for and find Benkelman and Wallace, and then go talk to Coach Belkey about that one. But Hampton, then in Class D2, is taking on Fall City Sacred Heart. That will be at Tri-County High School.
Yeah, we're going to be running around with our heads cut off in D1, I think, next week, Eric, aren't we? So, Friend, obviously, the number 1 in the points, going to get Diller Odell. And, of course, Diller Odell was, I believe, a state semifinalist or maybe even state finalist in volleyball, so a lot of good athletes there. That should be a good one. Fullerton will play Omaha Nation, who's kind of run under the radar. They're actually 21-3. Fullerton with the big win over Howells Dodge in their sub-district final, and it looks like Howells Dodge is probably going to be one of the wild cards down in state, and they're a Strive school. And then DCS, of course, we kind of chronicled their fun run to the finals last year. They won them all until O'Neill St. Mary's got them in the finals, and Coach Belkey has just about everybody back from that team. I reckon they're going to be pretty focused and will be fun to follow as well in Lincoln. And then probably one under the radar that we need to kind of watch is if things break right, it looks like there's an outside chance that BDS could be that second wild card in Class D1 as they lost a Friend in that sub-district final. And then, tough draw for Hampton. Fall City Sacred Heart has been number 1 all year in Class D2. They played in the state finals last year, and they beat Hampton in the district final as well last year. Hampton was able to advance as a wild card, but I don't think that's in the cards for the Hawks this year. A wild card, they're at a win or go home spot, but you never know. That's why they lace them up, and you got to play the game. So I imagine they'll bring a whole slew of people to Tri-County, and it should be at least loud for the Hawk girls on Friday at Tri-County High School.
And then, of course, we'll talk about the boys sub-districts. They will continue coming up tomorrow. They'll have district games for some Monday and Tuesday of next week as they get ready for their state tournament, which will come up the following weekend. So that brings us to what is coming up for Strive next week. We go next week on the road. We take the show on the road, and we head off to Dickey's Barbecue in York. 7:30 start time as usual. Hoping to have a good crowd there, and they always treat us right. There's usually some sort of special. They've already had it out there on their social media that we'll be there. So we will be there with bells on, and even if Tony's not there, he will be there in spirit. This might be the one that we need to invite Burke Brown to and buy him some barbecue from all the stuff that we got with Burke over the fall. You're laughing. I'm not joking, Tony. We need to get Burke there for a game. That'd be fun.
He probably has more basketball prowess than either one of us.
Probably at this point in the season. I would not doubt it at all. But Tony, as we wrap up the show here tonight, your final thoughts as we get ready to go.
Well, I mean, this is, for us, I think it's the most fun we can have in a short amount of time. I mean, we'll be doing basketball. Basically, Wednesdays and Sundays will be our nights off until the boys tournament ends in a few weeks. And so it's fun to chronicle those stories. Every town's got a unique story that they might bring with them to Lincoln, and it's fun to just follow these teams and even kind of meet these girls and the boys and what playing in the state tournament means to them. And so it's a really neat time, and they're making memories for the rest of their lives with their teammates, and that's what this time of year really is all about. So it'll be fun to share these stories, whether it's on Facebook or on our website or on Twitter or on Snapchat or however we do it. Periscope, maybe, who knows? We'll have as much fun as humanly possible. I know that.
And anchor, Tony. We're going to anchor a lot.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
If you missed it during our state wrestling coverage, and a lot of you, if you're watching our show, you probably already follow us on Twitter. You would have seen the anchors that we did, and it's Anchor is a very new app. It's only a couple weeks old, actually, I think, but it allows you to do some audio recording and then post straight into Twitter, and really slick on our end. Works great timing wise with high school kids, and you don't want to always take up 15 minutes of their day. So if you can focus their attention for 2 minutes, which I'm sure Coach Ribble, who's still here, is like, if we could do basketball practice 2 minutes at a time, that might be better. It's a lot of fun, and then we can share a lot of different stories. We did a lot of that with wrestling this past weekend. So if you haven't already, follow us on Twitter, and then of course you can join us on, Tony, are you ready for it? Snapchat. And yes, Tony's not yet on Snapchat, but
we had some kids or some students snap us, and this is our winner tonight.
We have a winner. This is the winning snap. Storts Center is here.
You got to be creative, guys.
Wow, that's creative though. That's you know what? That is a better look than wrestling headgear all over me.
But the basketballs look like wrestling headgear almost.
But yeah, I'll give you that. And the arm kind of comes out the head. I realize it's Snapchat, but Dustin, that's a little. Anyway.
So we'll be getting him a t-shirt.
All right, Storts Center gets a T-shirt for certainly for the most creative Snapchat of the night. I'm sure.
So, thanks to everyone else that snapped.
And yes, keep those snaps coming. We love those. Oh, by the way, just a small teaser. Wait till state at Snapchat on Saturday.
Uh-oh.
Gonna leave it at that. Saturday will be interesting, but make sure you snap and make sure you use all your filters when you Snapchat from state basketball on Saturday. For the girls first, and then we'll see what happens after that. As always, a thank you to Cornerstone Bank, Truck Center Companies, Channel Seed, and Dickey's Barbecue, our broadcast partners for Prep Huddle Live on StriveSports.com. We will see you next week at Dickey's in York.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
I love it. It's fun. It's a fun industry to be in. Meet lots of different people, do lots of different stuff. There's always something new happening, so.
So far I've been enjoying it since I've been here. It's been great, learning new stuff every day. I recommend anyone coming and work here because so far the working environment's friendly, everyone's kind, and also the new guys that come here, they will gain the confidence that they need just to come and work.
I like how everybody around here is, we all kind of become real good friends. It's like a second family here. It's not something you would come to just work for a month or two. It's something you'll want to stick with forever.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel Seed apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel Seed. At Channel, we know the importance of staying connected. As seed experts, we look to get the most out of your fields by putting ourselves in them throughout the season. That's seedsmanship at work. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.